Hello there, one is Soul Silver 17 here, and let me just get through like usual. I don't own this picture. I have no idea if that's the person who owns it, like you see that name with it, but yeah, I don't own this picture, and this is an unpaid video. Okay, well, somebody said in one of the comments, I should do a Naruto what if, but he has Sans' powers. But I wasn't gonna choose the classic Sans again. I was gonna choose a different Sans, and I mean, this was I kind of just found this version of Sans randomly. This is Gaster Sans. All I know is that from videos I looked up on YouTube, like the storyline of it and everything, um, and just read online about it, was that experiment happened because that was Frisk's, determination. Frisk was older. It was like experiment on her determination, try to get the power up the core, I think, or resonate with the core. And it was like the experiment went wrong. Everything started to become distorted. You could say like in lava fall, it was snowing, and in snowfall, it was lava. So yeah, that's one example of it, and this was because, and that's just like an example of one thing that caused it. But this gaster sand or G sands basically is a result of when that experiment was going horribly wrong. Gaster and Sands were basically merging into a being, and Gaster told him to focus on something, which he did, and it was a picture that looked like this, and yeah, so I'm going with the one because I only know from like a little comic strips of it, basically on YouTube, that all I know is that he basically helped Frisk get to the core, and then Frisk and Chara started to use their determination together in sync, and they reset the world back to the way it was before the whole entire experiment happened, in which Gaster Sands or G Sands was about to, not exist anymore, so they opened up a portal. That's where I'm having it, and having him go to the Naruto universe. And he has everything of Sans and Gaster's abilities, I believe. So, he'll have like those hands, and I don't know what Gaster's abilities are. I looked up like Gaster Sans abilities, but it only like said what it is for like Sans. So yeah, okay. So yeah, note Miss Sans does smoke, but I'm not gonna have Naruto do it, not until he's old enough. I don't know how old he. So it'll be like he'll wait till he's like an adult or something. I don't know, but in order what's happening in the background, that's just my father mowing the lawn. But yeah, this video is gonna be a little bit longer. I hope you guys do enjoy it. This is gonna be kind of like I'm just making my own personality in this, because I kind of can somewhat be similar to Gaster Sands mostly. He can be sometimes, well, intrigued by everything. He's always cautious before he leaves the area. He always like tries to do something different in the world and all that. But basically, you'll just see. All right. So this is what if Naruto had Sans' powers. Part 1. The title is still. It's gonna be like I may change it, so it'll be like, what if Naruto had Gaster Sans' powers? Yeah, actually, let's go with that. What if Naruto had Gaster Sans' powers? Part 1. Alright, okay. So, as I said, I'm starting off when Gaster Sans go through this portal, so that way he can still exist. So, because Achara and Frisk wanted that to happen, they didn't want him, to disappear. They open up the portal. Gaster G starts to run to it. While the world's getting reset and fixed, Gaster and Sans are back into being their own self, while G is his own person. So when he goes through this portal, he has no idea where he is. He looks around and he's basically just seeing everything like trees. He's going like, where am I? This better not be just another like alternate reality or something. If so, I'm gonna have to deal with a whole bunch of problems then. Whatever. So G starts to walk away. Walk away from where he was. And basically he's thinking to himself, goes like, I hope there's other monsters around. If so, then holy great. I can finally learn where I am. But while he's walking and thinking to himself of that, he hears somebody crying. He doesn't know who it is, but what he knows that it sounds like a kid. So he follows the sound of this kid crying. But when he comes up to where he hears this kid crying, he sees a boy with yellow hair, white shirt, shorts, and sneakers, basically, and he has some bruises on him. He walks over to to this kid and he asks, "Hey kid, you all right?" He goes, "No, I'm not all right. I don't know what I did wrong, but they started hurting me." And he's like thinking, what? Who started to? And Naruto looks up and when he sees this skeleton, he just screams and he goes, "Ah, monster!" He goes, and G says, "Wow, that's how you greet somebody who's trying to talk to you and get to know what's wrong?" And Naruto goes like, I'm sorry." He goes like, don't worry. It's not really a bother, but want to talk about it? As Naruto basically tells him, like what the villagers did or said. And G's just thinking, wow, that is very mean. I mean, you're just a kid. I mean, it's not like you have something bad about you. I mean, what I can tell you, you really are nice. It just sounds like the villagers hate you for some reason. So he thinks to himself about it. He's thinking there has to be like some unknown reason. The only reason why people could be afraid of somebody is because they have a power that they don't understand, or they don't understand something, so they're afraid of it. As then he asks, the kid's name, and he says his name is Naruto Uzumaki. And Naruto asks who's him, as he says, "My name is Gaster Sans, but you can just call me G." That's what a friend of mine did. As he goes, "Alright, G. It's nice to meet you." It's like, "Nice to meet you too, Naruto. But I need to ask you a question, real quick." He goes, "Yeah, what? Do you mind if I look at your soul?" And Naruto's eyes going like, "What?" He goes, "Well, I got something called soul magic. I can look at people's souls, monsters or humans. As magic which, it doesn't matter. So, can I?" As Naruto nods slowly as G eye glows, basically, like in the picture, which it shows Naruto's soul. I'm gonna say, his soul would not be determination. Naruto's, kind person, has that warmth, so kindness, I'm going with. His, that's basically his soul, but it is getting black. It is, like, having, like, turning black, because I think that's, like, the sign of hatred. But then he sees another soul, which Naruto does too, like another heart. as it's weird. It's pure, black, and it's emitting an aura that G didn't understand. So he goes, looks like we now know why they hate you. You got something inside of you that they don't like. As Naruto says, well, I mean, I heard about the Nine Tails that attacked the village on the same day of my birthday. And then G just realized, he goes, oh, crud then. He goes, Naruto, you do know what that means, right? As Naruto looks at him confused, he goes, never mind. But, hey, how about this? It seems like you don't really have much experience protecting yourself, so how about I give you my power? And I can figure out what's going on while I'm basically merged with you. He goes, wait, what? He goes, when a monster soul and a human soul combine into one, the monster kind of disappears. Goes into the person's subconscious. And they're basically a part of that person for a while. Or as long as they have the soul within them. It can be permanent or not. It depends. But, it's up to you, kid. And then Naruto says, really? He goes, yeah. If you want, basically, what I can do, and, get some intelligence boost. And Naruto looks and goes like, hey, what does that mean? He goes, kid, you're not that smart. No offense. I mean, probably kindergartner could know a lot more than you. Or maybe a kid, like a 7-year-old. And Naruto just kind of gets a little bit mad, but understandable. And he goes, look, I'm not making fun of you, I'm just saying. And then Naruto says, will you really be, with me in my mind? And he goes, of course. I don't lie. Guys, besides, it would just be a skeleton of fun. As Naruto looks at him with a blank face, and G thinks, oh god, please don't. And then Naruto just starts laughing. He goes, that was a good one. And he goes, you're alright, kid. That was the first time in a while I made a pun. Also, just to let you know, my personality is a little bit different from yours, so you may get the bad puns, along with the intelligence, which, genius level, FYI, plus a little bit of something else. But hey, you'll figure it out. So, as he, hands, basically, his soul in his hand, goes, you ready? As Naruto nods his head, and then he just grabs G's soul, basically. Unknowns to Naruto and G, there was people on the way to get Naruto, because the third Hokage wanted Naruto to get home safely, so he sent Anbu to, fetch him, to find him and bring him back to the village, because this was outside of it. And so, when Naruto grabbed G's soul when the Anbu were near, a beam of light shot up into the sky. And the Anbu saw it, so they rushed over there immediately, right when it faded. Naruto basically is different. He has G's clothing on, and these clothes aren't going to stay growing with him all this time. Also, he does have the cigarette in his mouth, but it's not even lit. And it says, I'm gonna hit myself, but basically, Naruto still has his hair. He has white hair, still has the cracks. I mean, that line on his, from one eye and the other eye going down, like in the picture. His skin is just basically same color as the bones. So yeah, Naruto looks a lot different than anything. And basically, Naruto just takes the cigarette out of his mouth and goes like, I mean, I'm too young for this. And just chucks it. I mean, not chucks it, he just tosses it to the side. As then he hears something. He basically hears G in his head. He says, "Yo, Naruto, you there?" He goes, and Naruto's just speaking to himself in his head, saying, "Yeah, G, I can hear you loud and clear, man." And he goes, "So, how does it feel to get a lot more smarter?" He goes, "Feels great. I mean, I don't have to worry about the test no more." And G just laughs, saying, "Hey, I may be genius level, but that's only in what the knowledge I know. You still gotta learn." And he goes, "Yeah, but hey, now I got the ability to actually study and not hate it." And then G just starts chuckling. So he says, "Oh yeah, if you don't want your name no more, how about you just call yourself G?" And you're like what, Gaster Naruto or Gaster Sans? He goes, "Well, I'm a part of you, so how about Gaster Naruto Sans?" And he goes, "Nah, I'll just call myself G from now on." And he goes, "Alright, whatever, Naruto. I'll get back to you when I find anything." So, while he was talking to himself, he found the Anbu came to him. They see Naruto was completely different. They see the white hair, the jacket, the clothing. Even the hands basically having the holes in them. Like, they don't understand how, and they even see his eyes are basically the same way as in the picture when you see the orange, but it's more but it's just white. So that's only when he activates and uses power. So basically, it's black and white, which they're saying, "Naruto, is that you?" He goes, and he looks back and sees Anbu. He goes, "Yeah, what about it?" As they see his eyes, and he goes, what's happened to you?" He was like, just gained some new power. Or should I say, it was a gift from a friend. As they say, "Alright, well, we need to, take you back to the village." And he goes, "I'll meet you there. Actually, tell the old man I'm already in the village, probably in my house sleeping, but I gotta go do something real quick." As then Naruto immediately puts one hand on the ground, gets in a jumping stance, and jumps up in the air as high as he could. Basically, the Nabu are looking at him. They don't know what he's doing, but it looks like he's about to do a backflip. So right in the middle of when he's turning his body to do a backflip, he disappears. He teleports all the way to the Hokage's monument, and he lands right on the head of the fourth Hokage, and he just says, "Wow, I already know what I can do with my powers. Seems a little bit good." As then he puts out one hand and just goes in the air in an arc shape, and there's he summons out a couple of different other hands, and he goes, "So, this is one of Gaster's abilities. One can heal, one can fire, one can control gravity, one can even manipulate time?" Whatever. As then he just makes them disappear. So he goes, "Well, geez, G really does like to be on high places. And I guess I always did come here just to relax. So, yes, we have that in common." As he puts his hand in his pockets and he pulls out, well, basically what you see in the picture, just a carton of it, just a package of it. As then he kind of just throws it away and summons out a mini gaster blaster, shoots him, destroys it. Says, "If he's around if I'm still the same way, when when I'm older, I'll start doing it. Just not now." So he kind of takes a few steps back, and then he just starts running. He runs all the way to the edge of the fourth Hokage's head, and then jumps right off. As you just hear, and this is near freaking 8 o'clock at night, as he just yells out, well, basically, "Whoa!" Sorry, my voice is just weird. right now. You know, like, this is awesome! And then all of a sudden, like, his eye, glows orange, and then he's just a gaster blaster appears as he lands right on it. And he's just flying on it, just like controlling it. And he goes, "Oh man, this is so much fun." And he has a smile. The envoy reported to the third Hokage what has happened to Naruto, and what has happened in general. They don't know what happened. Naruto disappeared before they can question him anymore, and they don't. He says he's gonna be back as home, as the Hokage said he'll talk to Naruto tomorrow while he's in his class, because he's like in the academy. Also, I don't know if I really should put a ship in this. So, yeah. Because it's more like I'm kind of just gonna go along with just seeing how it goes. But anyways, so after that, Naruto, after flying for a couple of hours, getting used to how his new his new power is, and just in general how much more agile he feels. He feels like a lot lighter, like he has a lot more power than what he knows. And so Naruto just goes home and falls asleep after he takes off basically the jacket and he changed his shirt. If you're wondering why I kind of had the clothing change into this, because one, it looks awesome, so why not? So yeah, so while Naruto is sleeping, G is in Naruto's mindscape as he's walking through the corridor, just an endless walkway, as he just says, "Man, whatever is in here is really, really dark and gloomy." I can just imagine it has some power that can basically one-shot anything. If so, then I wonder why the people fear it. I just hope it ain't just some big giant monster. As then when he comes into basically the open where basically where the gate is, and it's all open, it's not as Gaster, well, not Gaster, as G says, "Wow, this is really big." Look like I jinxed myself. Whatever. So he's just walking and thinking about everything that could happen here, as the possibilities, as he's being cautious. When he gets near the gate, he then sees a claw, comes out, basically hits it. Claws are coming through as it almost seems like it hit him, but it's not even close, as he says, "So, you're the thing that's inside Naruto." As then the beast behind the cage, or the Nine Tails, says, "Who are you?" I cannot do the voice, I'm just gonna speak normal. Forget. As G just says, "My name is Gaster Sans. Call me G for short." "And who are you?" As he says, "I'm the Nine-Tailed Fox. I am sealed inside this child, because I attacked this village a long time ago." As he just says, goes, "Oh, really? I just have a couple of questions I want to ask you." As near the Nine-Tailed says, "Leave here now, or suffer the consequences." As G just says, "Really? Suffer the consequences? Alright, Fox." As he summons out his multiple gaster blasters, bones, even holding one, a bone that has a point to it, and he says, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Your choice." as he has a little grin on his face. And the Ninetales reluctantly says, "Fine. What do you want to know?" As basically, G asked him why the villagers hate Naruto because, is it because of you? As he answers yes. They blame him because they think I'm him, or basically it's the other way around, he's me. Or it's the other thing where he's the Jinchuriki. As G asks more about this then world, and the Ninetales answer everything. So, this is when Naruto's 9. So when Naruto wakes up, he changes his shirt, kind of just, this is early in the morning, so he changes his shirt back to the one that he's wearing in the picture. The jacket's already off, hanging up, but he does, take off. He does, change the pants as he, just washing them. And he lets them dry, and this is, freaking 3 in the morning, as then Naruto kind of gets some books and starts reading. After the pants dry, when he gets for class, to go to school, and he eats, he changes back into the pants, go and basically puts on the jacket, socks, boots, and just says to himself, I can teleport there, take a shortcut, or just walk. I'll teleport when I need to. So he, he goes out of his door, locks it, and when he goes through the village, he sees the landlord. As he sees Naruto is a lot paler, a lot skinnier, a little taller, has holes in his hand, and cracks in his face, it looks like. And white pupils, just white dots. And where the white is, it's just black. So he's saying, Naruto, is that? He goes, yeah, landlord. Don't make a big deal out of it. I'll get the rent for this month coming up. Don't worry. So yeah. As he starts walking away. As the landlord doesn't know what the heck is going on. While Naruto is walking through the village, everyone is seeing him. He has the hood on, and they just see his face, his hair, a little bit of his hair. As some people are just in shock, and other people are just a little bit terrified. G tells him everything about the nine-tailed fox is inside of him, and the attack on the village was orchestrated by somebody else. The fourth Hokage had to use you. And had to use him as a seal, basically, to seal the fox in order, because he couldn't kill the fox. So Naruto understood. He said it's the most logical thing, so he understands it. But it's more plus it's kind of a jerk thing to do. But hey, you can't blame him. You can't blame a guy who's trying to protect the village. Besides, he's one of the greatest ninjas. A part of the village, so yeah, I respect the fourth Hokage. So after a couple of minutes walking and listening to G, and then talking to the Ninetales, yes, I'm making him be able to talk to the Ninetales, and so yeah, Naruto basically gets to the school. Some kids are kind of walking in. And they're some people are talking outside. They see somebody with the jacket on, with the hood, just walking into the walking to the academy, it's nothing. Some girls are whispering who's that? They don't know. So this is gonna be spreading really fast that there must be some new kid. Because there's one girl from Naruto's class that runs into basically the classroom, tells some of the girls that there's a new kid, and it looks like he's coming to our class. As a few of them do, get excited because a new kid. Okay, they just hope that he replaces Naruto. Some of the guys don't even care. Sasuke is just whatever. As basically when Naruto opens up the door, he just like and closes it. Iruka's there as he sees what Naruto looks like. He goes, but because he doesn't recognize him, because it's a lot different from what Naruto. As he says, "Who are you?" I was like, the name's G. Well, new name's G. Short for gaster sans. He's like, what? That's a little bit weird. Well, I do have another name too. And he was like, really? What is it? He goes like, as he takes off the hoodie, and he was like, can't recognize me without the hood on. With the hood on. As Iruka is in shock, the girls are in shock. Some of the guys are even in shock, and Sasuke just looks at him. Yeah. Sasuke looks at him. I'm not gonna say if Sasuke is a girl or a guy. I'm still thinking on that one, this what if. But I just want to let you guys know, in the Ghost Rider, I'm kind of making Sasuke pretending to be a girl. Well, not a girl. Pretend to be a guy, but really it's a girl. For reasons. So yeah. So that's gonna be the funny part. That's gonna be like a funny part I just thought of to do it. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna like. So it could be like one of those things in this one. Sasuke is a girl, but looks like a guy, and But yeah, I might just. Freak it. Sasuke is a girl, so Sasuke has the same name, but she looks like a guy. But she doesn't like care what the other girls say, so she just goes along with it. As Naruto, looking at everyone that's in shock, and he says, "Yo, Shikamaru, what's up?" As the people see his hand, and like Iruka even saw, he goes like, "Naruto, what happened to you?" He was like, "Oh, well, why should I tell you? I'm your teacher." He goes like, basically, sensei and all that. I care about you. He goes like, "Oh, well, how can I explain this to a more logical situation that you would understand?" Well, that wouldn't make me sound crazy. I'm trying to add. As then he goes over to let's say there's a chalkboard, as then he just starts writing down something that they don't understand. As he says, this soul is a monster soul, and this soul is a human soul. As he goes over the aspects of the 6 different types of souls, plus the determination, and then the hatred soul. As then he says, basically, there's a monster called Gaster Sands, which is a mixture between 2 different monsters. Because of an experiment that went horribly wrong that merged them together. They took on the form of, somebody that has the similar clothing as me. And then they were basically fixed the core that basically needed to be fixed so that they could fix their world. But the only problem is, this person, called Gaster Sands, or G, for short, would not exist anymore. But the person who he helped fix the core of that said world, basically, they wanted him to still live on and have many more adventures. So, a portal opened up and, he basically came into our world. And then we talked, and he thought, hey, my life is pretty rough because of people in the village. And so, he even wanted to get to know why they hated me. So basically he found out a solution. He goes and basically his soul and my soul merge. And then I take on his appearance too, which as you see, as people just nod their head, as he explains more in detail, about like skeleton monster from another world gaster sends come over to his world. That happens, and what he can do now. As then he says, "All right, that's all." Then he starts to erase everything he wrote down, and he goes, "So that explains everything. What happened? Can I please take my seat now?" As Aruka says, "Sure." And Naruto yells out to Shikamaru saying, "Hey, you wanna play shogi later?" As Shikamaru says, "Sure. Why not? If you can win." As Naruto just says, "Oh, I can win now. Believe it." And he has a little grin on his face. So some people are staring at him in shock because they're like wondering why he has like the cracks in his face, and even though he is spindle, it's still kind of crazy. As then one kid, not some random kid, as Kiba says, "Naruto, if it's true that you can use something called magic instead of chakra, why don't you show us some?" And then if a bone hits a bone hits Kiba that came out of the ground in the stomach, as he says, "How's that for you?" As Kiba goes on the ground, like, "Good one." And as Sasuke saw, because Naruto's like sitting in like the middle of the area, right in front of Ruka, and Sasuke's to his left side, so he saw the eye glow. As he goes, "What's that?" He goes, "Oh, activate. It's when my power's activated, or my magic. Don't worry about it." As then Naruto says, "I'm tired. I woke up early in the morning. I'm gonna sleep." As then, he basically falls asleep real quick, all sitting in the chair. And everyone, even Aruka, is just shocked to see how fast he fell asleep. He does drool a little bit, and he kind of talks in his sleep, just mumbling. And everyone is, and like basically they can't focus on any of the work, and Aruka can't even focus on teaching. So basically, they're just having like a whole entire day of doing nothing but talking. And Naruto slept for about like an hour or two. So when he wakes up, he just starts stretches, and he goes, "So did I miss anything important?" And Aruka says, "No, we haven't done nothing." I was, "Okay, cool. Anybody want us to spar? I need to test out some of my abilities. My new abilities now." I'm not gonna say who's fighting him, but let's just say like a whole bunch of people fought him that day, and everyone learned. Because of these new abilities, Naruto has become OP. Even jutsus don't work on him because he can just dodge out of the way. But yeah. So we're skipping over to when basically the graduation. Naruto has gotten a lot more control over his chakra. The Nine-Tailed Fox doesn't interfere as much. G's basically just gonna stay with Naruto as long as possible, because he likes Naruto, and basically he just wants to be around. He doesn't have to do much then. Besides, he can basically freely talk to Kurama and learn more stuff from him, so it's a win-win situation. So Naruto basically learns the shadow clone technique. Hiruzen did talk to Naruto that day, as he told him and explained everything to him, as he did to everyone in the class, which kind of shocks Hiruzen. But yeah. So a monster from another world, from another reality all together, just came over to our world. He saw you were in trouble. He gave you power, and basically also looked into the Nine Tails, and basically you and the Nine Tails have been just like talking now. It was, yeah. And that was on the same day as he fought everyone. So we'll follow the guys. He doesn't fight no girls. So yeah. But anyways though, as Naruto does path. He also, just did the regular clone jutsu, but he knows how to do the shot clone jutsu already. He learned it because, well, genius. Everyone has seen his grades go up. His training is improved a lot. He does sleep a lot and like to hang out in trees or on the top of the building a lot. So people, you know, and some girls in his class are interested in him. I'm not gonna say who, but is basically like talks to Naruto a lot more. Sakura doesn't really care because, well, Sasuke, and Naruto can already tell something is not right about Sasuke, as during this, graduation, after it's all done, he grabs Sasuke over, as he just said, and, he pulls him over to the side, out of the classroom, and he just says, Sasuke, I know you're hiding something from everyone. As he goes, whatever, loser. He goes, Sasuke, come on. I can tell you're hiding something. You're so easily to read. As that kind of irritates Sasuke. He goes, I'm not easy to read. He goes like, all right. Sure act like a girl sometimes though. As Sasuke, isn't shocked. And he goes like, what do you mean? He goes like, well, you're writing sometimes, I notice. Even though we're a little bit distance away from each other, but I notice that you erase your penmanship sometimes. It looks like a girl's one. And even, like, sometimes when I see you out in the village, you stop by some shops that only girls would go to. As, basically Sasuke. And that's what he's been telling everyone. His name is Sasuke. As then Naruto says, so, are you really a girl who's looking like a guy because of what happened to your family? And also, you don't want anyone trying to hit on you? As then, well, she just like basically sighs and goes like, how did you know? As well, you just helped you put all the pieces together. As hastily she says, yeah. And he has, is your name really Sasuke? She nods her head no. It's, it is similar to Sasuke, but it's in a girly way, like. And he says, well, I'm just gonna call you Sasuke for now on. I'm not gonna tell your secret, so whatever. And he goes, wait, you don't want him on a real name? He goes like, I don't care. Probably Sakura or something. Sounds like Sakura. That's why you don't want anyone to know. Let me guess. Girl's so useless you get embarrassed just to have something similar to her? As she nods her head. Yes! Also, she likes you, right? Naruto says. And then Sasuke, like, Sakura says, I don't care what you guys say. It's just a name I come up with right away. Actually, I'm gonna think of a better one. Give me a minute. Okay, came up with a better name. Siren. Alright. Siren and Chiha. That's basically the girl version of Sasuke in this what if name. So basically, Naruto's walking away. And so Siren, walks over to Naruto, runs over and asks him, why are you not telling anyone? And he goes like, well, first off, it's your business, and I don't really care. And why should I tell anyone since I found out? To me, you're just a freaking tomboy. So, whatever. Which, well, Siren does look at him like she wants to hit him. As then she freaking tries for a punch. He dodges out of the way and teleports onto a ledge where a window's open. Because I say it was like at the class, so yeah. And he was like, huh. The little girl doesn't want no one to know that she's acting like a guy because trying to become stronger and, well, doesn't want nobody to know. As basically, this is just like pissing her off. As then Sakura comes and he goes like, "Oh, saved by the useless person. Never thought that could ever happen." And then Siren just laughs and Sakura just goes like, "What's so funny?" And then basically, since Siren, never really cuts her hair, she just like kind of made it the way it is because of, well, just made it stand up. And then she just says, "Sakura, just leave me alone." And she goes, "Why Sasuke?" And then she says, "My name really isn't Sasuke, right?" And she goes, "Huh?" And this is like after like the whole entire graduation, everyone, like, while someone's still doing it. And then Naruto says, "Huh, so you're actually coming out and saying it?" And she goes, "Yeah, Sakura, I'm a girl." Which she goes, "No." And then, basically, Siren just stops like having her hair being up and like lights down and kind of just, did some like transformation jutsu to make her facial features different. And then she doesn't have that no more on. Like, she deactivated the transformation jutsu, which showed what, she really looked like. Which Sakura is in shock. She's on her knees. And Naruto just says, "Well, that's the end of that. You want to grab a drink later?" And she goes, "Sure." So they get off and they walk back into their classroom, which everybody's in shock, and the only one who knew was Ino. And then, like, Ino told Shikamaru. So they both say, "So you finally stop hiding it." As then she said, "Okay, first off, how does he know? How does Shikamaru know?" And then Ino says, "I told him." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "What?" He overheard us talking about it one time, so I had to. And he goes, "Oh, okay, that's fair." So Naruto just said, "And I found it out because of, well, details I thought was odd for a guy." So, as the only everyone in the school knew. By that I mean like the teachers and the Hokage knew. So like, as like, you know, Hiroka comes in, he sees Siren, no Siren, basically, and he says, "So you finally stopped using the transformation jutsu?" As basically he says, "Yeah." Well, she says, "Yeah." I mean, it's just good. Okay, so yeah, after that happens, Mitsuki in this one does not like is not around. Something happened to him in a mission that went completely bad, and he was killed. So yeah, he's not around, so that doesn't happen. And Naruto, Siren, and Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba. Kiba sees Naruto as a rival. So yeah, and Hinata, you know, just like hang out. They like grab drinks, eat, and people in the village don't know what to do with Naruto. They don't know what he can do now. So yeah, it's shocking. And basically, Naruto is just having a good day. Alright, everyone. This is where I'm gonna leave it off. I do hope you all enjoy this video. I can retcon something, and if you want, like, I can literally retcon like the Sasuke thing. I can turn him back into a guy. So yeah, female Sasuke won't really be around. Just different name. For the female Sasuke. So yeah, I did not get so much sleep last night. Like, I was up all the way to like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's my train of thoughts kind of like all over the place a little bit today. So yeah. But anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me if you guys like it. Alright, I'm just gonna post this. And then later tonight, I'm gonna make the Asta Dragon Slayer one. And that may be an hour long video, because I'm gonna have a fight scene happen in it. Alright? Okay, everyone. Have a nice day, night, and be safe. Bye.